Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Should we start?
Walaikum assalam.
जी बेटा परवीन, should we start? सारे लोग आ गए?
सर सारे नहीं आए, मतलब कि 30 स्टूडेंट आए, बाकी नहीं आए अभी।
चले ठीक है, हम लोग स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। Today we are going to start Ernest Hemingway. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Today we are going to start Ernest Hemingway in American literature. Ernest Hemingway, 1898-1961. Ernest Hemingway is a celebrated novelist. As we know, short story, he got Nobel Prize in 1954. He was born in Oak Park, United States of America. His early life, basically, his family took him on hunting and fishing trips, and then his novels reflect adventure, courage, endurance, because he got and he inherited certain values. He suffered from depression in later part of his life. He went through 2-month electroshock therapy, committed suicide with his gun. He is an eminent writer, celebrated writer, and he is famous because of his novels. His work, The Torrents of Spring, 1925, The Sun Also Rises, Farewell to Arms. Basically, this is the novel we are going to read, Farewell to Arms. It is about First World War, World War I. To have and have not, for whom the bell tolls across the river into the trees, the old man and the sea. According to people, Ernest Hemingway became famous, eminent throughout the world because of this novel, The Old Man and the Sea. As we know that in The Old Man and the Sea, there is no women character. An old man is there, old fisherman is there, and his struggle is shown in the novel, Adventures of a Young Man. So, Ernest Hemingway is a famous novelist and short story writer, and because of his novels, he becomes famous. When we talk about his life, to some extent, he was an adventurous person. He was brave and he was courageous in the very beginning of his life when he was young. But later on, he suffered uh, from depression, and then he admitted in the hospital. But later on, he committed suicide and he became hopeless and helpless. So he has shown courage, determination, and commitment in his novels. because his heroes basically, especially the main characters in the novels, they are adventurous by nature. They are brave, they have courage, they have endurance to face the challenges of life. But later on, Ernest Hemingway was himself disappointed and depressed, and because of that, he took his life. Again, you see the novels here, A Farewell to Arms, and then The Sun Also Rises. For Whom the Bell Tolls, it is about Spain, and Old Man and Sea is about Cuba, the Cuban seashore, Cuban beach, and old man named Santiago. His struggle is shown, and there is no women character, only uh, the old man Santiago struggles a lot to achieve something. Then we come to the themes of the novels overall as a writer. Yes, any one of you read the themes, read this slide. Yes, any one of you?
Yes, sir. Themes, themes in novels. Element of love and romance in his novels. Adventure and military expeditions.
Okay,
Crisis and
1 minute. Uh, eh, eh, can you define novel? What novel is? Any one of you in the class? Can you define novel? What novel is? Yes. Anyone?
novel is a long narrative story.
Actually, novel is a long narrative story in prose. So novel has got many characters. There are variety of characters, and novel has a big panorama. There are many characters, and long and lengthy story is called novel. There are many characters, there are many events. So the writer has got basically freedom to uh, to write about characters, to write about events. So you can say that one novel is consisted of 30 to 50 or 40 chapters. When any short novel is there, consisted of 15 or 12 or 18 chapters, we call it novelette, novella. You can say that a short novel. So in novel, there are variety of characters, and there are many events, and the writer has got freedom to express himself and express his thoughts, as well as he chooses many characters from the society, or from you can say that he used to imagine, or from his imagination. So these are basically the themes in the novels. The themes in the novels of Ernest Hemingway are, generally speaking, when we talk about the element of love and romance in the novels. So this is these two elements are important element of the novels. And yes, these elements are very much there in uh, Ernest Hemingway's novels. The element of love and romance in his novels, adventure and military expedition, especially in the case of A Farewell to Arms, because the protagonist, Henry, he went to World War One, and went to Italy, and to the front, and he was over there, but he did not participate as a soldier, and he participated as a ambulance driver, and he got injured over there. The third thing, that is crisis and challenges faced by the characters. As we know that Ernest Hemingway's characters, so they face many challenges. Crisis, critical moments are there, and sometimes failure is also there. They face failure. But we can say that his characters have got courage, endurance, bravery, and they can face the challenges. And then there is another element, the element of fate is there. So the role of fate is there. The characters, they try, they struggle a lot, but to some extent, there is inner conflict, and inner conflict is because of fate. They cannot do something regarding their fate, and they become helpless. But they can't quit. They keep on going, and they want to achieve something, and it is the prominent trait of the characters of Hemingway. So in this case, no women character in Old Men and Sea. Though there is no role of women in the character of Old Men and Sea. So this is the only novel where women is missing. Yes, please read ahead.
Okay. Uh, uh, Farewell to Arms, a combination of love story with war story.
Yes.
Love, loss, and death are the main themes.
Oh, this is the
New,
title. Yes, Asia, you are reading it. Asia is
yes, sir.
reading it. Yes. Beta,
Partial.
Yes, sir.
farewell to arms. What is meaning of
A farewell to arms.
farewell to arms? Can you imagine the meaning? Can you tell me the meaning of farewell to arms? Yes, anyone?
सर एज आगे जो लिखा हुआ है क्या कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ लव स्टोरी एंड विद
Actually,
वार स्टोरी
the title farewell to arms means you say goodbye to arms. You say goodbye to war. So you will not use arms. A farewell to arms means you say goodbye to them. You say goodbye to weapons. You could say goodbye to arms. Particularly this story, a farewell to arms, a combination of love story with war story. As Henry is the main character, he belongs to USA, Red Cross company of US, and he goes to war. At the same time, he falls in love with women. He falls in love with Catherine Berkeley. So Catherine Berkeley is another main character or heroine of this novel. So this is the combination of love story with war story, the First World War. Yes, read it.
love loss and death are the main themes new values replaced to the old ones overall life is harsh bitter and challenging simple straightforward and focusing on facts
Keeping in view these elements, when we discuss these elements, Ernest Hemingway is very simple, straightforward, and the writer focusing on facts. There is element of realism in his novels, and he is can be called romantic novelist, because as you know that there is the concept of love, loss, and death are the main themes. So he writes about them, and because he's 20th century novelist, so he believes in new values. So according to him, new values, innovation, these are the things that replace old value. They replace old values, and old values are basically traditional values. So overall, he wants to depict, or he depicts his novels reflect. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Overall, he depicts in his novels, life is hard, bitter, and challenging. So life is not comfortable. Life is not bed of roses. Yes, life is bed of thorns. So life is challenging and bitter and harsh. So simple, straightforward, and focusing on facts. So his characters are human beings, but they are inspired with the ideals of achievement. They are inspired with the ideals of achievement, and they are basically inspired with the ideals of love and romance. So when you read the novels of Ernest Hemingway, you feel that these human beings have got enthusiasm. These human beings want to achieve something, and they have got dreams. So achievement is another factor, another aspect the writer is focusing on. Yes, keeping in view the themes, any question, please? Yes. You want to ask any question, keeping in view the themes?
No, sir.
Sir, why there is no any woman character in his novels?
It's a good question. So actually, Old Man is about the struggle of the Old Man and Sea is about the struggle of Santiago. So the writer is only focusing on struggle. So Old Man basically he uh, was married in the past, and he used to remember his wife. His her memories are there with him, but he wants to achieve something in his life. Basically, on the beach of Havana, so fishermen were there. So there are many lucky fishermen, but old man is not lucky enough to catch fish for 84 days. So he thinks that 85th day will be the luckiest day for him. So it is focusing on because he lives his life, and he's all alone on the beach, and only there is a student, there is a boy who helps him. Otherwise, he has no family, and he had wife in the past, and he used to remember his wife. So it is all about struggle. It is all about achievement. It is all about striving of the old man. So I think there is the focus is on the struggle. So therefore, there is no women character in the old man and sea. And then there are many reasons behind it, but the main reason is this. Yes, have you got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, first of all, because in we are going to start farewell to arms, the theme of farewell to arms. But first of all, you focus on this, the first slide. Yes. Any question from the first slide? Yes, बेटा कोई सवाल है first slides में से? Just you read it if you want to question me. Yes, is it clear? First slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And we are going to the the second slide. Yes, these are the novels, but people believe that because of Old Man and Sea, and then because of Farewell to Arms, and because of For Whom the Bell Tolls, Hemingway becomes famous. These are overall themes in the novels of Ernest Hemingway? Yes. Any question from this? There is no question. Just talk to me. I can see Ehsan, Abdullah, and Anam, Asiya, Faisal, Faiza, Komal, Vishal, Mushtaq, Parveen, Saddam, Safia, and all these people. Zargul, Sobia, Shaista. Yes. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, please ask me question
sir.
because in the next slide we will discuss farewell to arms, because you must know about the writer. You must know about the writer. Ernest Hemingway is an American writer, and he was born in America, Illinois, United States of America, and he got Nobel Prize in 1954. And in the latter part of his life, he was suffering from depression and he committed suicide. These are the major novels he has written, and these are basically the themes of his novels. Yes, please ask me question. Any question you want to ask, anything you want to make comment, you want to discuss, because in next session we are going to start a farewell to arms. Has anyone studied the Old Man and Sea? Yes. Has anyone studied Old Man and the Sea?
No,
The Old Man and the Sea?
sir.
Has
No,
anyone?
sir.
No. Have you studied Ernest Hemingway before?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Have you heard about him? आपने पहले इनके बारे में सुना है?
सर नेम ऐसा जहन में आ रहा है कि सुना है.
नेम जहन में आ रहा है, सुना है जी. Yes, we will study. We will study farewell to arms, but I'm talking about the Old Man and the Sea. Actually, Ernest Hemingway was himself involved in First World War, and because of that experience, he has written farewell to arms. He went to Cuba, Havana. He went to Havana, and he used to live on the beach of Havana. And there, after that, he wrote Old Man and the Sea. And Ernest Hemingway loves Spain very much. He went over there, and then he see life over there to some extent. He was in the favor of the revolution of in Spain, and he wrote "For Whom the Bell Tolls." So it is the distinguished trait in Ernest Hemingway that he involved himself personally, and he went over there, and after that he uh, wrote his work. So you can say that these novels, you can say the personal experiences of Ernest Hemingway, and they say that A Farewell to Arms is autobiographical novel of Ernest Hemingway, because he himself was involved in